Hello and welcome back. We are back for reviving the channel. We're doing more replay analysis. I've got a lot to get through from people that have been waiting for a while for this. So, starting off today with Hazo. This guy says he is 1600, but he ended last season in 1800. So he finds it strange that he got to 1800 last season with his teammate, I think Storm, in this lobby, and he can't get back there. He thinks that. He thinks that a lot of the mistakes don't appear to be obvious, and he also misclicked on the kickoff, as we saw at the start. But we'll see. Obviously, he said that he thinks mistakes are obvious, which is fair. Sometimes it's difficult to recognise our mistakes ourselves. In this position, we just want to leave it for our teammate. You either have one of two options here. You either go for a demo or a bump. You turn off ball cam, and you just start looking this way and realise that this player is the one that your teammate is needing to get past, right? So if you get him out of the way, then that means he can take control and beat this guy if he gets back, which is looking like he's not getting back. So if you just bump this guy, that's an open that. So always making sure to look out for those bumps, especially when your teammate is in a 1v1 situation, pretty much like this. The other option you have is to ignore that and just go back post, and either you cut in second man here, as long as your teammate is aware and he goes third, or you go behind your teammate and play it really safe and let Storm push up. I think in that position you would have gone third because Storm had forward momentum already and he was already looking to push up the field. So you would just go back and be third here instead of trying to get a bit of an awkward touch there. This is fine. You just play in a solid position. See how you deal with this ball. Not bad. Not like, obviously, we want to look to control this ball. If we can figure out how to get a touch where we can control it, which I think you're looking for here, that's obviously going to be better. When we can, in most situations we want to keep the ball. But still a pretty good clear. It's not terrible. I actually like that hit. A lot of people would go for a hit like on target here. And again, I think if you get on target, I think they get back because that guy's already recovering, yeah. So hitting to over that side of the field, it gives your teammate time to get to the ball first. Nice. That was weird. Camera bug there. See what happens here. I think this is a good place to go for a flick rather than a low 50. We only want to be going for a low 50 when our team's ready for it, and it looks like they weren't really ready for it. Storm's pushing up a bit too close, and perhaps that's not your fault. But I think a flick there would have been good because obviously if you flick the ball, you want to be carrying on and going for the ball again and make sure you're getting there first. In that position, you would have got there first after, so that's fine. Decent. I sometimes don't like these plays because you're on low boost, and because you're on low boost, you can't speed up, and you cut all your momentum off as well. So it means you can't even speed up you can't speed up even more. So you kind of make yourself a bit slow, but it was a good pass to your teammate, so it does work out. It's just that if that doesn't come off, then it could be a mistake. It's quite a defensive game. This, as no one's really moving with too much momentum, everyone's quiet. Just holding positions. I think you could catch your opponents off guard. So one thing I've noticed that you really want to be working on is that you've got to keep your momentum better. Like, you've got to make sure you're keeping your momentum better. And sometimes it's not a mechanical error that you're doing to make this mistake. It's sometimes a decision-making error. So obviously, sometimes we mess up our recovery, which lowers our momentum, which means we're not moving as fast, we're not getting back as quick. That's a mechanical error to make the mistake. But things like this is a slight decision-making error, in my opinion. Sometimes a bump here is good if our teammate can get a shot off right away, but the ball's in the corner. It means he can't shoot that from this position. Unless he's the greatest, he can't pinch off the wall and get it in 100% of the time. So there's no real reason we should be going for this bump here. We're kind of just doing it for the sake of it. And when we go for a bump, we obviously have to flip into the opponent. We touch their car, which lowers our momentum, which makes us slower to get back. And you've also flipped against the wall, which makes you go in the air, and now you have to recover with 0 boost. And look, you hit that guy at like 3:18 on the clock, and you got back about 6 seconds later. And it can just be sometimes bad. and not work out too well. Luckily, our teammate got a really good pass and a good shot. And to be honest, the play wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't terrible, let's be honest. Like, you weren't going to concede from it. But sometimes we just got to be careful. We make sure, like, we don't want to be making these habits in places that aren't going to get us punished, because then we start making them in places that are going to get us punished. So, yeah, that's just a thing. And again, we keep just, like, stopping. Like, we just stop here just to kind of wait, and we're killing all of our momentum. And we already have 71 beat. Is that right? Oh no, it's a bug. It's a replay bug. I don't know why we're stopping there, like just kind of like breaking. It's just we're cutting our momentum off a lot, and it's not good to always just drive around the pitch. That's also a mistake, but we gotta find a middle ground. Good speed there. You are fast. You're fast to get up to the balls. You're pretty good on recoveries. If you just keep your momentum a little bit more and maintain those two aspects that I just previously pointed out, you'll be going a lot faster. You'll be beating even more people to balls, and you'll just find it much easier to, move around. I think like a position like this, there's no point for us to be boosting here, because then we boost and we go too far forward, which means you have to stop to get ready for this touch from this guy. And again, that kills your momentum. It's not terrible, but it's just a slight mistake. It's usually just like very, very small mistakes, which haven't got us punished, but in all fairness, but in these higher ranks, it could start to get punished, Good effort on the flip set double tap. I don't mind us going for that. It's just didn't come off this time. It happens. Nice. Good effort. Nice read. Good effort on the shot. I like the bump attempt there. It didn't come off, but it was pretty good all around. Nice position in here. Alright, leave that for your teammate. Yeah, good. Well done, well done. This is good. It's just we've got, again, it's just a momentum issue. It's not like every other player in this game. We're not conceding from these mistakes. We're not, like, there's nothing that is going terribly wrong. It's just that we're not giving ourselves the best chances to create opportunities all the time, if that makes sense. Even, again, like, if we look at this recovery, we backflip mid-air. Now, that means we've cut all of our momentum off. I know it's all we're talking about, but it just seems to be happening literally every, 5 seconds. If you front flip here in this position, the best way to recover here, I'd say to either jump. You jump in this position, which because your car is facing, your wheels are pointing to the ceiling. You jump. You're jumping with downwards momentum. You get to the ground faster. Because you backflip, you just stay in the same position. So now we're just, floating for about 5 extra seconds. So it's like we've got to start trying to figure out ways to recover quicker and stuff like that. But like positioning wise, pretty much perfect for this rank. I'd say it's actually very good. That's probably a bit above this rank, positioning wise. Mechanics wise, you look like you're doing good. I think you could do a bit better mechanically. Oh, look at that drift cut from that guy. I think you could do a bit better mechanically if you had more momentum. And again, the reason we get flicked here is because we drift on the spot, and now we don't have momentum. It's just all these mistakes is every time. In this position, you want to be keeping momentum, like even more so than before, because you've got to have momentum to get up to the save or get up to the block. We want to be driving. We do not want to drift and stop, because it's so. Look, so for example, to put it in a better perspective, look at how obvious it is from this guy that you're going to challenge. He can't see you. Of course, he can't see you. If he does a better job of making sure he sees you, like if we go from this angle, that'll help. He is here, right? If he just keeps like ball cam, I think on here, he'll be able to see past the ball. He'll be able to see on the right side of his camera, kind of like this, where you are. He has about 2 seconds to react and flick. And it's not like you're even getting too high as you get the block on the flick either. So it's just, I'm just showing you that to make you realise kind of, if you were in that position on the ball, you'd be able to see your opponent doing that. Do you know what I mean? I think in this position we just gotta be a bit faster to react into this. Like again, I know it's all I'm saying, but you kind of braked beforehand, which made you lose all your momentum. It's literally just the only thing. I mean, it's not the only thing, but it is like it's the thing. You know what I mean? Nice. There we go. Like, look at that. We don't stop once during this play. We realise, hit against the wall and keep going fast. We get a really good recovery, a great read on, you know, the way our car's going to turn, so we can just double jump this wall and get an amazing shot on target. That's a great shot for pro standard from that play. And it was just a great save. Like I'm surprised they actually got up to that save in time. What happens here? Yeah, so you kind of boost forward to expect, because you expect a majority to hit that off the wall. And that's fair enough. I would do the same. Yeah. Okay, I don't mind the play if you had more boosts. You could have carried on. Just try and get a 50 here. Just don't give them the free ball there. But it's not your fault, really. You got put in that position. But there's always something we can do better, of course. Nice. Good hit. You get a hard pop to pop it over the first guy. Good flick over that guy. Decent, decent. I think the play is slightly too slow. But it was a good attempt. I like that hit. You try to keep it close. Unfortunately, your teammate just got a touch on the ball. Excuse me. Nice speed. There we go. Look, we're so much faster than our opponents when we keep momentum. Like, we're so much quicker. And that's all it is, mate. Like, I know... I don't know how much this would have helped, because that is the only... Obviously, there were small things, you know, perhaps like in certain situations going for a different mechanical play over others, you know, perhaps the flip set off the corner. I said it was a good play. Perhaps you can maybe double tap it and keep it close, but I still think that was a good play. The only thing really, mate, is to keep your momentum. You're better than your opponents, it seems. Like mechanically and positionally, rotationally, even decision making. Perhaps you had a few slight mistakes on going for bumps, but I would count those as like more mistakes to do with momentum. You don't. It doesn't seem that you quite grasp that you've got to keep momentum throughout the pitch sometimes. Of course, it's okay to sometimes go slow and sometimes even come to a standstill, but in certain situations, you've got to realise that quicker. Oh, okay, here I can't do that. I've got to get back. Or here, yeah, I can, you know, lower momentum and it will work, but there is a better play where if I keep my momentum more, that we have a higher percentage of scoring, you know, higher chance of scoring. So sometimes it's not a mistake that you're doing, but it's an opportunity that you're missing to create a better chance. So that's kind of the only thing. The way I'd work on it is, it's kind of a decision-making thing. It's like a mental thing. Just go into your ranked game and say, yeah, I'm going to do a better job of this. And you will do a better job of that. And it's as easy as that, because you've done plays which show that you know how to do it. You know how to do it very well, not even just like decently. Like, look at this. It's not easy to control your car on this landing and keeping high speed, keeping high momentum, and going for this ball again and getting a good shot. All those things, yes, you can perhaps control your car, but are you going to get the read on the bounce? Potentially not, because it's harder. Yes, you can get the reads on the bounce, but are you going to get a good shot off it? I don't know, some players can't, but you've done all three perfectly here. So you can do it. You can time it very well, you can connect things very well with your momentum. You just don't choose to. So it's just a decision-making thing, mate. So if you work on that, I promise you, you will find it 10 times easier to get to rank up. And perhaps other areas of your game will get worse for a little bit whilst you do this. Perhaps you find yourself out of position a little bit more because you're trying to figure out where to use your momentum, where to not use it. And that's part and parcel of learning. You know, you're just going to have to figure those things out on yourself. But I promise you, you seem like you would figure out quickly because you've got it all there without focusing on the momentum part. So as long as you just add that into your game and work on it a bit, I think you're there. But let me know how it goes. I hope this replay analysis helped. Of course, if you message me, I will answer any questions. But other than that, you look like a good player, and I wish you best of luck in ranking up.